All right, Rob. The big story, I mean, it was a lot of stuff going on this weekend. Caitlin Clark becoming the all-time leading scorer in the NCAA. She surpassed Pete Maravich, which really they not competing. I mean, he's playing against the men, or was. She's playing against the women. But, she became the all-time leading scorer. And then, of course, LeBron James. There's some football news too, but
Russell Wilson, right? The big
news,
Russell
Wilson today getting released by the Broncos. We'll get into that, but maybe the biggest story, Rob, was LeBron James scoring 40,000 points. Now he had already broken Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record. Remember that for the highest scoring player in NBA history.
Right,
it was like 38 plus. But he went on to become the first player ever to score 40,000. Incredible accomplishment, Rob. I don't think that record is in the place of, say, the Wilt Chamberlain 100 points, or what's the complete games? Cy Young, does he have 400 complete games?
He won like 511
wins.
games. Yeah, Chris, like
400 complete. Like, those are obviously unbreakable.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, it'll be a long time, I imagine. But with the three-point shot becoming so prominent,
with medicine, Chris, and the way
guys
people
are playing longer. It's
coming
probably
back
not
too.
Because think about it, like LeBron and Tom Brady are obviously like they're the poster boys for longevity. But Kevin Durant's still playing great. Steph Curry, they're 35 years old, 30, whatever Durant is, 36. They're still playing great. So guys are playing longer. We'll see if anybody can duplicate LeBron's longevity, but they are still playing a little bit longer. So I don't know, Rob. Wemby, if he stays healthy, he looks like he might be somebody if they give him the minutes. That's the thing too, Rob. Guys have to play the minutes that the older guys used to play. LeBron came in when they were playing a lot of minutes. And so you're going to have to play he's averaged 38 minutes for his career. People feel like that's crazy now. And so for somebody to break it, they're going to have to average a normal, what we used to call a normal load of minutes. And they're going to have to stay healthy. They're going to have to play for an incredibly long time. And they're likely going to have to utilize the three-point shot, which is something that LeBron's done to get to 40,000. So we'll see. But Rob, LeBron made some interesting comments after he broke the record. And here's one of them.
To be quite honest with you, everybody wanted to see me fail when I got to the league. Everybody was just like, it's no way he's going to be able to exceed, the expectations that's put upon him.
I have to be honest, and let me tell this story before what I say, because I don't think this will contradict my general thesis. But I do remember being in Cleveland when LeBron. I was there either visiting my parents or maybe doing work. I'm not sure what I was doing, but I was in Cleveland in my car. LeBron was still in high school. He's like a junior, I think. And I was listening to sports talk radio, and this was in Cleveland, where there's a tiny rivalry, I guess, Cleveland versus Akron, the two cities. But the people on the radio, callers, they were talking like, oh, they play. Because remember, St. Vincent St. Mary was a smaller school. It wasn't at the top level of schools in Ohio. You usually, like when I played in Ohio, you had A, AA, AAA. And now there's like 6 or 7 divisions. But St. V was in one of those middle. They probably were like level 3 out of 5 or 6. Don't hold me to that. But they were a smaller school, not tiny, but not a large school either, not the highest level. And there were people talking about, they ain't playing the big boys, even though they were playing a national schedule because they were a great team and they were playing Oak Hill Academy and these other schools. And people in Cleveland, some of the people I heard on the radio were saying how, I like to see them in the, at that time, it's the Lake Erie League. And, I like to see them play against the best teams in Cleveland. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, Cleveland, Cleveland ain't no basketball hotbed. Cleveland's not like known for putting out awesome basketball players. Ohio in general is. There are some, obviously LeBron, but there have been some. Earl Boykins, Ruben Patterson, Charles Oakley, they all from Cleveland. I covered Ruben and Earl in high school. But it's a bigger football state. Ohio's a football state. So that, Rob, would be, I guess, an example of some people kind of hating on LeBron. But besides something like that, and I'm not saying I have the definitive answer, but my experience, Rob, and I was covering the league when LeBron came out. I was in Cleveland a lot early in his career. I got to be honest, I don't agree with the notion that everybody wanted LeBron to fail. I felt like people were excited about this great prodigy coming out of high school and that they wanted to see, can he be another Michael Jordan or can he be, close to Jordan or something like that. And so, Rob, remember he had commercials, the Chosen one. There was one, Can I Get a Witness? Or, those witness commercials. Dr. J, I think he was in a commercial with him. You had the 4 LeBrons, in that whole thing he did early in his career. Like, I don't know, Rob. I felt like people generally were pulling for LeBron or certainly not pulling against him. What was your take?
Yeah, I just think that's LeBron doing a woe is me, look at what I did. Nobody thought, dude, you were the rave. You were Sports Illustrated. You were the kid, the chosen one on your back. All, Chris, like this is revisionist history. When people turned on LeBron was when he went to Miami and formed the super team. That was when he became the evil empire and people, were like, oh, what is this? That's when it changed. There weren't people pulling against him. When they went to the finals that year, they beat the Pistons, and the Spurs.
It was incredible.
It was incredible. Nobody expected that. I disagree with that. I don't really believe that there were people openly rooting and hoping that he didn't. That was so early on. I don't remember that.
I'm with you. Right?
I don't remember that, Chris. I don't.
I think and tell me if there was someone else. From what I recall, before LeBron went to Miami, the only real loud voice that was critical of LeBron was Skip.
Probably
Skip Bayless. I don't remember, I would always be defending LeBron against Skip. I don't remember many other people. There was really nothing to be critical of. You know what I mean? I mean, he was, like you said, he was 22 in his 4th year when he beat Detroit.
Right.
That was a very good Detroit
team. And we were at that game. We were at that game, Chris.
Yeah.
We scored 26 straight points or whatever it was. You remember that? That was a moment in the NBA. We were there for that.
I think you hit it on the head, Rob. Miami was when
the tide
LeBron became polarized, and people either loved him or they hated him. And I think had he said throughout my career or, I've been a polarizing athlete. Some people love me, some people hate me, or even if he just was like, I've had a lot of haters, a lot of detractors, a lot of people pulling against me. I think that could have been accurate because at some point in his career,
but to say from day one everybody was against him, I don't believe that. I think that's a way
I'm with you.
Of making himself to say, look what I did. See, nobody wanted me to be here. Nobody thought I could play. I mean, or nobody thought I, would accomplish anything. Right. I just think that that's not true. And you wouldn't, Chris, SI, right? When they put him on the cover and all that, that tells you what they thought of him. That they didn't think that he was going to do anything. And B, like LeBron and the whole, like I always say, you had a tattoo on your back, the chosen one, like. That's not something where you put and you think, well, I don't know if I'm going to make it. No, it was pretty well documented that you were going to be this man-child, right, who changed the NBA at some point. You might not have been Michael Jordan,
right?
But you were going to make a mark in the league. We talk about it all the time. If he would have stayed in Cleveland, he might have won 2 or 3 championships, Chris, and that would be, and then have all the other records, and that still would make him great. It still would.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Like, and I think too, Rob. I mean, think about it. I don't think again, maybe I'm missing it. Maybe I'm forgetting somebody. Someone who's that great, Rob, in high school, unless he is just, now maybe today with social media and you really can see somebody's personality, and maybe if they were putting up, just if they were incredibly arrogant.
It was a different time.
Right. Back then you didn't know any of that. I mean, I'm not saying LeBron was like that, but I'm saying you didn't know a guy's like personality. He wasn't on, there was no social media. So you didn't have as much of access to a guy's life. My point is this, Rob. I don't think most people are going to hate on a high school prodigy, right? Like they might not like you once you get into the pros or maybe even college. But Rob, coming out of high school, do you agree? Like, I don't think people are going to be like, oh, I don't want him to succeed. But you know what I mean? Because people are looking, he's a kid.
People are looking at
succeed.
Prodigies, Chris. Right. He's a prodigy. Like, very seldom are you against a prodigy. Not
right.
Like, it's after a while, maybe you get to know him and you don't like some things about him. And then you might be like, I'm not rooting for that guy. He's too arrogant.
Right.
Or he's this. Or he's that. But at that point, he was a kid.
Yeah.
I told you, I met him at the Palace.
And he had a tough upbringing.
And I don't remember him being this. Not at that time. But I don't remember it. I don't remember.
No, I'm with you. We agree on that. Let's throw it out to the listeners. 877-99 on Fox. LeBron says everybody, again, we know that's a generalization, but still, was there this great upswell of people who didn't want LeBron James to succeed as he was entering the NBA?
All right, Chris, let's kick it off with Don in Ohio. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What up, Don?
Rob, what's happening, Don Emmons? I worked for the Toledo Blade during LeBron's era.
Okay.
When he was in high school? So, okay.
Right. Now I work for the Brinks.TV. And LeBron, there was no way people were rooting against him. LeBron was that guy.
Yes.
LeBron, I watched him for 4 years in high school, and he's the greatest high school player that I've ever seen. And so this is what LeBron loves to do, is to rewrite history.
Yep.
He had no negativity against him. Remember, he was this chosen one. And so that's why I'm like, why does he say that? That's the one thing about LeBron that makes me wonder, like, what's going on? Because it's always like, woe is me. Like, he was King James before King James even existed.
Right.
So
and this is what
with it.
You're 100%. Don, I'm glad you were right there, but that's what Chris and I saw. I didn't see that. I don't know.
I wonder if he obviously had the controversy with the Hummer. Remember, didn't he get some jerseys that people tried to hold against him?
Like, that was real minor.
Yeah, that was Ohio State high school athletic committee.
Yeah.
You know, I think I know my mom, for one, that actually made her like LeBron more because she felt they were like unjustly trying to mess with him.
Make what do they say? Make a mountain out of a molehill.
Yeah,
Like something that's.
But
yeah,
I don't know. Is that what he's talking about?
Marty in Kentucky. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What up, Marty?
What's up? How y'all doing? It's Magic City Monday.
We're doing great.
We are great, Marty. How are you?
I'm good. As you guys know, I've never had a lot of positive things to say when we talk about LeBron. One thing I have never called him is dumb. He is highly intelligent. I think he reached a point in his career a while ago during his second stint at Cleveland when he knew what his followers, what they fed into, and he feeds them, and then they get the word out, and his name stays out there, and he feeds his own hype because he knows what they like. They like that narrative that everybody was against him. I remember when he was young and first in the league. I remember the game against the Pistons, and I was just amazed by him, and I was calling people, "Do you see what this kid's doing?"
Right.
I was rooting for him, and it wasn't till the Miami thing, and then the self-proclaiming the GOAT and other things.
Right.
So I started getting turned off.
That, Marty, you're spot on. That's for a lot of people. They feel the same way, Chris. It was moments in his career where they're like, really? You know what I mean? Like it was that. Not
Yeah.
everybody knows he's a great player. I don't think it's anything about whether he can play or not. That's not the issue. Keith in Georgia, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Keith?
What's up, guys? Love the show, first of all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to take a different perspective. I'm going to take it from a younger LeBron point of view. I think you hit it on the head, Chris. The issue with the Hummer, LeBron felt like he was attacked. He felt like everyone was against him because he was getting all these things as a high school player. Then he got banned for a couple games, suspended. He was like, well, everybody's against me. They won't even let me play basketball. I'm a high school kid. So I think he looks at it from that angle and goes, I was attacked. I'm always was attacked. No one wanted me to succeed. Then when
I do think that, look, in the mind of an 18-year-old, I think that's possible.
But to say that now, like with the retrospect, Chris, and maybe if you felt that way and you talked to him back then, but I don't know. Like, I just don't. He was welcomed into the NBA, and people were fascinated and wanted to see this guy who's I just don't remember.
Yeah, I think overwhelmingly fans loved him, were excited to see what he could do. But, I mean, I do think maybe that, again, as an 18-year-old, I guess you can look at that as people rooting against you. You know, I know, you know, he caught some flack for going to St. Vincent St. Mary's, which was the predominantly white Catholic school in Akron, instead of going to Buchtel, which, because I covered that area, Buchtel's like 99% black. And so he caught a little flack for that, him and his crew that went to St. V. But I mean, I guess now as you think it out, I can see how maybe he felt that way. But I think nationally, Rob, I mean, everybody was for the most part in his corner.
That's what it felt like
early on. Yeah.